Wassail, beautiful people. So it's column 8 today. Boil, the petulant gin after the applause. This is a very interesting card. You can see a small jinn or genie coming out of the symbol. Much of what's on the front of the card tries to talk about that energy of our petulance, our impatience, our desire to move things quickly forwards in our own favour without necessarily learning lessons. So it has this energy of impatiently exciting transformation. So impatiently exciting transformation. You're trying to excite a transformation in yourself without having all the necessary tools at your disposal. It's also re-death for living resurrection. Now, we always talk in the spiritual community about death and rebirth. And this is really about re-death and birth, because there is a sense in the esoteric world that we die when we're born, because we're leaving our spirit self to be in the physical in a lesser form, and that's like being sort of hidden, or we find ourselves in a land of shadows, unable to connect with the divine in the same way that we can when we're fully in spirit. And so it's about learning to absorb pain through endless tests, so that we can have a birth, we can birth ourselves into a new existence. It also has the energy of uncontrolled discordancy. It's bringing huge amounts of phlegm into my throat, just thinking about and expressing this, because I know it's an energy that has plagued me as a wound throughout my life. Is this sense of being so far ahead of the curve, seeing, understanding, knowing things of a future and other realm, living, worlds, places, spaces. The fact that the world can't seem to catch up has always felt very wounding to me. And this energy of being after the applause is a really important frequency. It's like it talks about the notion of achievement, and once you've moved past this impatience to be somewhere else or to be something else. But what do you do after the applause? My suggestion would be that we learn to live a truly human experience. So we have the polarities: I am fervent or I am frigid. So the shadows that I would be looking at are impatience, and I always think I've dealt with impatience, and yet there's always something else that comes up that I feel impatient about. Seeking shortcuts, pushing life fast and hard, and an interest in dark shadowmancy. You see, that one I don't feel I have. And the foolish know-all, know-nothing initiate. Now, that's a double-edged sword in many ways, because that's the state that you need to achieve, but in the right way, to know that you are naive as you move into the new frequency, the frequency of being the initiate. That's the first comment on the light side of the attributes of this card. Wise study, following sacred truths, open to esoteric mystery walking, keeper of secrets, and guardian of veils. So I've selected Chariclo. I thought long and hard about this, but it feels like because Characlo is the gentle enforcer of boundaries, she's also the energy of an opening chord, something new. I feel like I want to use Characlo's frequency here to help bring an end to the petulance of my Jinn. Because at some point as you move through the tunnel, when you rub the symbol, the hugeness, the vastness of the healed you is able to release itself from the bottle. So Characlo has a connection here to both Gemini and Pisces, which may be of assistance to you. For me, the energy is about opening space for release and then placing new boundaries on it. That's what I see in this frequency. It's the nervous system, soothing the nervous system. So we have shape-shifting because Characlo was part water sprite and part centaur, and she was the consort of Chiron, who this tunnel seems to be all about. She is spirit medicine, so I'm calling upon her to be my spirit medicine. She's the law, L-O-R-E, of shamanic health. Understanding your spiritual health, understanding your psychological immune system, and working with it to soothe neural networks. She can also be the energy of awakening through illness, and in many ways we could see the spiritual life path as a kind of illness because it's a battle of wits within ourselves. It's that Mars energy, that war with one. So she's I am soothed or I am stressed. Anxieties, nightmares of despair, out-of-body traumas, tumbling between dimensions and wandering dark corridors towards illness. So today I'm going to be thinking about those energies and trying to transform them into the energy of being soothed. So she represents spirit shifting, and that's a really important thing because it's changing your philosophical, spiritual attitude towards life. She also conjures healing beings, so you can call upon her to help you to heal. Crystals can be energized in her name. So if you imagine yourself as being the metalloid physical version of an untapped crystalline potential, then you can begin to see how actually you need to energize you in her name. Her rhythms also call to your inner shaman, and you can channel herbs and tinctures through her. So she really is about calling in a sense of healing. So, talked a bit long on those two, so let's shuffle Liffruma and get some extra advice for me to help me think and philosophize today on column 8, Boil, the petulant Jinn, after the applause. Oh, after the applause, your destiny. After the applause, my destiny can begin. Not during the performance, but once the performance is complete. It's interesting, it's about releasing an old realm. Think of Yor as a kind of barrier, the boundary that currently is around you, and you need to gracefully enforce a new boundary. So that requires you to ask your destiny snake to release its tail and move you into a new dimensional pathway, a new destiny, a new frequency of being healed. Create a new boundary on what you will and won't accept in your new philosophical, physical existence. Need one more card. I have one. There's the second. Oh! So, Spirit and Monas Hieroglyphica. So there is that sense with Spirit of self-actualized salvation, a heavenly harp ensemble, something really deeply magical and spiritual rippling through your whole being, liberation from the material havoc that you've created in your existence up to this point. A peaceful spirituality, the unseen realms being available and choosing when to look in them. And this is about dreams. It's the pentatonic scale. It's about removing the white notes on a keyboard, piano keyboard, and just playing the black notes. And it brings about a different spatial awareness of frequency form. I am spirit, I am matter. Now this card has the same things written on both sides, but the polarity is I am spirit, I am matter. We're both those things. We need to be exactly in the middle of that. We need to be both a spiritual being and a physical being. So this is to embrace being embraced. So to embrace yourself, your purpose, your destiny, your motion forwards after the applause, or mine. This is to be fully woken. This is to be spiritually sated, a tidal flow of love's breath, an adept in the myriad art of divine mysteries. And then with Monas Hieroglyphica, Secret Wisdom, which was where we began, or I began, well, we all begin on column 12 in this eclipse season, but this is the Secret Wisdom. This is the masterclass. So this energy coming up is going to ask me today to also look back and remember what I was doing with column 12 and what conclusions I made and how I apply those conclusions to my petulant Jinn so that I can move things forwards. So really powerful stuff for me to think about today. I hope you're all having fun doing your own. Anyway, wassail for now.